of, you know, the way they run their offense, and he's done just a magnificent job here at Dayton.
One of the better offensive teams in the entire country. And we are underway.
Defensive team. You know, that's an area where we can continue to improve.
Well, puts it up, no good. And a pass over to Toppin, and there's the right hand throw down. Leading the country in dunks. The freshman with that hard drive and putback. And there's Ryan Mikeson with the layup.
On offense is how can they attack Dayton switching defenses.
Toppin's going to let it fly off the mark.
But they've scored 4 points, but it feels like they're scoreless.
As Winston, that's an air ball, rare air ball from Don Welch. Vasquez thought about the three. Now he takes it and in and out. That tip almost went in by Carpenter. Here comes Toppin the other way.
Different philosophies about whether to call a timeout. I think it all depends on your team and the trust factor, trust level you have.
Obi Toppin, coach. Landers inside the Toppin. Double team there. A tough pass, take it away. Here come the Bonnies. Landers over to Toppin. Two-hand slam.
Yep. And I really love that last lob to Mike Sell. Who said Mike Sell can't play?
He got up. Crutcher puts it down from three. Crutcher to Landers. Toppin pump. And finishes with the left hand inside.
One or two steps make a big difference. So he's got to get over and support a lot sooner. Offensive rebound here.
Toppin, can he beat the clock? He does. He gets it to go. How about that into the first half by the Flyers?
Right now, Dayton is putting on a clinic offensively.
Walton too strong on the layup. Toppin with the rebound. And this is where Dayton's dangerous. He's another guy that can get hot, especially from long distance. But English is feeling it. Toppin just a little bit off.
Could have been a foul in that situation.
There's Chapman controlling. And this Dayton team so confident offensively. What a pass.
Scenes. Not just when lights, camera, action, but the times when the curtains are closed.
There's a nice feed to Toppin. It's also 3 NIT appearances.
Absolutely. When you have a chance to impact kids, not only as a coach, but as a mentor, a father figure, man, that beats a lot of other. It doesn't really feel like a job.
Toppin with another dunk in the country.
Yeah, and I think that home game was in Rochester. They didn't even play it at home. It wasn't even a true home game.
Tough pass. Toppin trying to find Mike Sell in this run. English has had the hot hand. Driving. And his shot's blocked by Toppin during their freshman year. So you're right, the future is bright for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids that went to prep schools, went to postgraduate programs. So you get an extra year and get a chance just to mature and grow and develop.
Under 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Flyers. Landers, nice. Oh, nice.
I am so impressed with Landers' interior.
As this Dayton crowd rises to their feet, all around tremendous performance by the 7th-ranked team in the country. That's the final, 86-60.
Obi Toppin is already 22 years old and by far the oldest prospect that we've covered so far. His position is power forward and he just finished up his sophomore season with the Dayton Flyers. He's 6'9", 220 pounds with a 6'11" wingspan. As for some of his statistics from the past season, he averaged 31.6 minutes per game, scoring 20 points on the dot on about 70% shooting. He took just over 2.5 threes per game and made 39% of those. He got to the line 4.5 times a game and made 70% of his free throws. He pulled down 7.5 rebounds, averaged just over 2 assists, and averaged about a block and a steal per game. Obi Toppin burst onto the national scene this year, wowing live crowds and YouTube crowds alike with his highlight reel dunks. The dunks helped make him famous on social media. The rest of his tools have made him famous among scouts. After winning the Naismith Player of the Year award in his sophomore season at Dayton, he has become almost universally viewed as a top 5 pick. Tankathon has him going 5th, Sam Vecini of The Athletic has him at number 4 on his big board, and NBADraft.net has him mocked all the way up at number 2. At the risk of sounding like a hater, I have yet to really buy into the hype. Offensively, he uses his plus athleticism to his advantage. He sets hard screens and rolls with a purpose, and his soft hands and leaping ability enable him to throw down highlight reel alley-oops. He also does have nice touch around the rim on hook shots and seems comfortable finishing over either shoulder. Additionally, he does some nice work reading the floor off the ball and moving into space at the right times. His shot isn't very aesthetically pleasing. He shoots it in front of his face and finishes more out than up, but it is functional. He shot 39% on threes on about 3 attempts per game this past season, but the free throw percentage being at about 70 tells me that this might not be sustainable. But being a dead-eye shooter isn't his calling card right now regardless. He shows flashes as a passer. It seems like he knows where to go with the ball, but sometimes the timing and accuracy of the passes is a little off. His handle is pretty basic. It can get him where he needs to go, but he's not going to be breaking guys down off the dribble. He might not be the greatest playmaker for his size yet, but there's definitely something to build on there. Defensively, Toppin left me feeling very disappointed. Despite his incredible athleticism, he showed very little ability to protect the rim. This was especially troubling given Dayton essentially uses him as their center. There were several shot blocking opportunities in this game where he didn't even get up off the ground. This might be less of a problem if he was a solid on-ball defender, but he's not especially strong in that department either. He got beat pretty easily off the dribble a couple times in this game. My assumption is they put him at the 5 because they didn't believe he would be able to contain forwards on the perimeter. There's just very little feel for the defensive end of the floor. The right team might be able to hone those tools and make him into a respectable defender, but any team that drafts him will basically be starting from the bottom. Where this really becomes a problem for me is projecting his fit at the next level. If he was a little bigger, you could easily slot him in as a 5, or if he was a quicker defender on the perimeter, you could see him guarding 4s and 3s. Right now, though, the only position I really see him filling is small ball 5. While this position is growing in usefulness across the NBA, I think being so limited in his versatility on the defensive end also limits his potential to be a star. Overall, Toppin's athleticism and offensive ability make him intriguing as a prospect. My biggest concern is him turning into one of those guys that just has these flashes where you think he's going to break through, but then he never truly does. If his skill set on offense continues to develop and he's able to become a more consistent contributor on the defensive end, there's a path to Toppin becoming a star. But I think more realistically, we're looking at a guy that can be a starter in this league during the better parts of his career and a role player off the bench during the rest of his career. My NBA comparison for him is Aaron Gordon.